How are you all doing? I am doing great, so I believe you are doing great as well. So, could you give me the answer to this? 6 multiplied by 2 divided by 6 multiplied by 2. What is the answer? 6 multiplied by 2 divided by 6 multiplied by 2. What could the answer be? 6 multiplied by 2 divided by 6 multiplied by 2. If you are just joining, you are welcome. It's simple but not simple. Simple but not simple, if I may put it that way. Simple but difficult as well. 6 multiplied by 2 divided by 6 multiplied by 2. What do you think the answer should be? Okay, I'm waiting. Actually, I am waiting. Six multiplied by 2 divided by 6 multiplied by 2. Sultan, hi. How are you doing? Sultan says the answer is 4. Okay. Six multiplied by 2 divided by 6 multiplied by 2. Is it true? I'm waiting for more answers. Then we are going to drop the solution later. Okay. Thank you all for joining. Okay. Frank Kuma says the answer is 1. Mohammed says the answer is 1. So if you are team 1, say hi. If you are team 4, say hello. Okay, Cynthia says hi. All right. I'm fine. Satya, I'm fine. And you? Jack says it's 4. Leaf says it's 4. Okay. Hmm. 6 multiplied by 2 divided by 6 multiplied by 2. What's the answer? Please take care of the shine instead of us. My son Peter, that's prevailing. Yeah, he's fine. Thank you. Excuse me. You're good at this calling. Physics scientist, thanks for joining again. He says it's 4. Some say it's 1. Some say it's, big girl said it's 3.99996. 3.9996. Okay. TQ. Physics scientist. I don't normally, for now, I'm not serious on Insta. Okay, I'm not. Okay. It's not equal for it comes in decimal. BKL, how? How is it supposed to come in decimal? You doesn't even need calculator. You do not even need calculator. I mean, smart American, the answer is 4. That's Chloe. Shama says the answer is 4 as well. BKL say answer please. Okay, I will. Okay, DY says is 1. Biswajit says is 1. Okay. Bodman's theorem, first division and then multiplication. That is BKL. We will take care of that in a bit. In a bit. Then science says it's 4. DY says it's 36. Okay. Who wants watermelon plus in chat? Chloe, Mikael said Bodmer's rule. According to Bodmer's or Pemdan, the division, okay, physics scientists, yeah. Jugu says final. What do you think the answer is? 6 multiplied by 2, um, divided by 6 multiplied by 2. Someone is asking, how can 4 be answered in this question? But of course, it's possible. And it might be the answer. BKO, if it's so easy, what's the answer? Please tell us your answer. So BKL, what's your answer? Please solve this problem in whiteboard right now. So, okay. Do you know why sometimes those of you, most times, those people that say that the question is very easy end up failing the answer. That is the truth. They end up getting the solution wrong. Yes, I don't know why, but I've seen it severally. Someone will come to your comments and say, this is very easy. I don't answer this type of question. Only for the person to fail the easy question. Okay, Parrot says it's 36. Parrot says it's 36. So this might look easy, but it's not easy. Because if you miss a point there, you're going to fail it. If this is your first time of seeing us, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Like our live stream if you love what we are doing. If you don't, tell us how to improve on the comments, okay? All right. So, Parrot, I'm curious. How did you get 36? ABD says the answer is 1. 1 and 4 makes sense to me, but 36? Where is that coming from? Please enlighten me. I would like to know. I would like to know why you think the answer is 36, please. Bowen says the answer is 1. Bowen says the answer is 1. Madam, tell the answer already. No one has this much patience. Okay. But the truth is, I will always post the video. So if you have something to do, you can. Then come back and watch the replay. I'll be done in about 1 hour. That is if you cannot wait for me to tell you the answer. All right. So that is just it. One says 4, another says 4. Abdul says is 1.5. That's a new answer. 1.5. Okay, now let's solve this answer. Let's see who gets it right and who did not. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. First things first. First things first, we should always look forward to board mass. Board mass or pendants. Anytime we are solving something in this form. Now, according to board mass or pendants, your multiplication and division, some of you said division comes first, like MNK says division comes first. That is if you are using board mass. Okay? Division before multiplication. If you are using pendants, you can see that multiplication comes before division. Now, what do you think? If this is board mass, and this is PEM dance. Okay, excuse me. Okay, sorry, I had to go take care of my baby. All right, so let's continue. Like I was saying, Bodmer's PEM dance. Didn't you see something here? You can see that according to Bodmer's, division comes before multiplication, and according to PEM dance, multiplication comes before division. And one thing about mathematics is one thing. You can never say that mathematics brings confusion. There is always a particular rule to follow. All right? There is always a particular rule to follow. Now, this is the rule. Multiplication and division, okay, they are on the same level of application. The same thing goes with addition and subtraction. They are on the same level of application. So anyone that comes, you solve it from left to right. You solve from left to right. So there is nothing like division comes before multiplication. No. And there is nothing like multiplication comes before division. No. Both of them are on the same level. So you solve from left to right. The same rule applies to addition and subtraction. You solve from left to right depending on the one that comes first. Okay? So having done that, then let's quickly solve this. Having explained that, let's quickly solve this. So first, we solve 6 times 2, which is 12. So we have 12 divided by 6 times 2. Then we solve again. 12 divided by 6 will give us what? 12 divided by 6 will give us what? 2. So now we have 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. And this is the answer. There is no decimal. There is nothing like 1. Because if you say 1, that means you did 6 times 12. 6 times 2, 12. 6 times 2, 12. And before you divide to get 1, which is wrong. So this is the right answer. Okay. All right, so that is basically that. So for MNK, I hope you now get the answer right, because you said this is wrong, only for you to get it. You said this is simple, only for you to get it wrong. All right, so next time, I think we should apply some form of humility in everything we do. All right, now I have an IQ test that is going to test your IQ level. Trust me, this IQ test will test your IQ level. So this says 2 plus 3 equals 5. Then 3 plus 7 equals 17. 4 plus 5 equals 19. 5 plus 8 equals 37. Now we are asked to find 6 plus 7 is equal to what? If you are able to get the answer to this, then you have a very high IQ level. So let's see those that will get it right. I got it right, yeah. OG says we learned it in 4th grade. Everyone learned it in 4th grade, 3rd grade, 5th grade. But the truth remains that most of us still miss the point because sometimes the teachers don't teach it. I don't know how to put it, okay, because I'm also a teacher. So, OG says fact, family, this is simple too. All right. Jonah says it's 41, Sultan says it's 41. Please tell us why is your answer 41? Anderson says it's 14. Why is your answer 14 as well? We are not doubting anybody, but you need to tell us how you got your answer, please. How did you get your answer? So what could be the answer to this? Okay. Okay. Tell us why your answer is 41. There has to be a reason for that. There has to be a reason for that. Someone says 42, another says 41, 46. I have no idea. OG says the facts are 5 and 12 in a pattern. 5 and 12 in a pattern. I'm sorry, I'm lost. What do you mean by that? Meden says it's 46. Multiply the two numbers together and minus 1 or 4 in our alternating order. Pattern numbers. Okay. 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 3 times 7, 3 plus 7 is 10. We are talking about IQ test, IQ questions, okay? Second number multiplying, constant is increasing each line. Okay. Understanding pattern. Okay. Um, Sultan says, am I correct? You are going to see soon. The answer is 50 because it is the sum before plus the sum plus the normal answer. So 37 equals 6 plus 7 equals 50. Blessing says it's 41. Kindly tell us why you think the answer is 41. Blessing, please tell us. There has to be a pattern or a formula that you are using. Subtract their differences from their product. Thanks for the explanation, Blessing. Thank you. We are going to see that next. Where it says is 46. Understanding pattern in maths. Yeah, that's true. If you can do that, Ali, you're going to find out next. Basically, multiply each answer in order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the end. Like I said, this is really going to test your IQ level. Really going to test your IQ level. Okay. Okay. Jugu says it's 41. This is a nice one. Someone is asking why 41. Why 41? I'm going to tell you that soon. Okay, so let's get into that. Let's get into that. Now this is the formula: A times B plus A minus B. A times B plus A minus B. Now, in this case, our A is 2, right? And our B is 3. So if we solve that here, we are going to have 2 times 3 plus 2 minus 3. 2 times 3 is 5. Sorry, is 6. Plus 2 minus 3 is minus 1. So basically what you have here is 6 plus times minus is still minus. So you're going to have 6 minus 1, which is 5. Okay. Now, similarly, the second one is 3 times 7, which is 21, plus 3 minus 7, which is minus 4. And 21 minus 4 will give you 17. So if you use the same method, you will have 6 times 7 is 42, and 6 minus 7 is minus 1. So plus times minus is minus. You will have 42 minus 1, which is 41. So those of you that got 41 is correct. All right, now let's drop another IQ test. How smart are you? Now this one is algebra, but some might find it difficult to solve. 3 minus 3 times 0 plus 3 divided by 3. What is the answer? What is the answer? 3 minus 3 times 0 plus 3 divided by 3. So these are the options: A, 0, B, 2, C, 4, D, 1. One says it's 1, another says it's 4. Nigeria. Okay, most of you are saying 4, 4, 4. Another says 2. Okay, 1. Other says the answer is 0. Zachary says it's 0. Gates says, "You are from which country, ma'am?" I said Nigeria. Mickey says C equals 4. Nam says 2. Govinda says D. That is 1. Hello, Jella. Okay. Says the answer is 4. That is Edith. Jella says it's 1. Shopping W, you are welcome. So what's the answer? Okay, Jibru is 4. Okay. So what do you think the answer should be? 3 minus 3 times 0 plus 3. Okay, sorry. My network was poor. That but I'm still getting some answers. Some say it's D, that is 1. Someone say Kima says it's 2. Zayan says it's 1. Zella says it's 1. Okay. Nice one, guys. Okay. Since we have more of 1, 1, 1, and 4, 4, 4, That means the answer has to be either of them. It's either is 1 or it's either it's 4. I don't know yet until I solve it. I don't know yet until I solve it. Okay, he said 2. Okay. Um no, 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 shop W, no, nothing like that. My data, it's my data got exhausted. So Zion says the answer is 4. All right. I can believe people are getting 1. I can't believe people are getting 1. Okay. Um, Edith, we are going to solve it together and see probably what the answer is. You understand? Why, whether the answer is 1 or 4, you can never tell. What if 1 is actually the answer? what if what if 1 is the answer? Okay. Yeah. What if 1 is the answer? Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this and see why some people got 1 as the answer and some got 4. And then we conclude on the right answer. Okay, first of all, thank you all for dropping your answers. All right. So let's solve it together. First of all, remember that we are going to apply board mass and pendants. So board mass or pendants. Now, in board mass or pendants, it is very obvious that if you have so many operators in a question, you are expected to follow these rules. So you are expected to solve your brackets first, your order, that is if you have square, cube root and all that, your division, your multiplication, your addition and your division and your subtraction. Now, this is one thing that some people don't know. The fact that division comes before multiplication doesn't really mean that you must divide before you multiply. It depends on the context. Because when you look at pendants, you will see that multiplication comes before division. So if we should strictly apply board mass, that is anytime we see division, we must solve it before multiplication. And some persons decide to apply pendants is anywhere they see multiplication, they must solve it before division. Then that means that we are facing confusion. And in mathematics, there is no confusion. All right? There is no confusion. So the only rule that makes sense here is that your multiplication and division are on the same level. Anyone that comes first, you solve from left to right. You solve from left to right. The same thing goes with addition and subtraction. Okay? So that is exactly what we are going to do. So let's do that. So there is no confusion in mathematics. Now, you can see that we have multiplication first. So let's solve that. We will have 3 minus. Now, 3 times 0 is 0. And we have plus 3 divided by 3. Okay? So, excuse me. All right. So, you will now see we have division. We are going to solve division first because subtraction and addition comes after we must have divided. So we now have 3 minus 0 plus. Now 3 divided by 3 is 1. So if you go ahead, you will now have 3 minus 0 is still 3. So plus 1 is 4. And that is why your answer is option C. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. So please, anytime you see this type of question, solve it calmly, applying your BODMAS and pendants. So your multiplication and division, they're on the same level. Just solve from left to right. And your addition and subtraction are on the same level. Just solve from left to right as well, depending on how they appear on the question. Okay, so that is basically that. Yeah, 4 is the answer. 4 is the answer. Now, let's solve something else. Let's go ahead and solve another thing. So, are you ready? Are you ready for this? Which is the smallest prime number? Which is the smallest prime number? A. This is getting faint, so let me add more ink to it. So let me add more ink to this marker. So which is the smallest prime number? So I need it to look very well. A, 0. Sorry. A, 1. B, 2. C, 3. D, 5. Which is the smallest prime number? Answer is option B. Option B, 2 is the smallest prime number. 2. Someone says 5. Shopping W. Are you serious right now? Are you being serious right now? Which is the smallest prime number? The next question I'm going to draw is going to be difficult, trust me. The next question is going to be difficult. So brace yourself. I will just say brace yourself for the next question. Brace yourself for the next question. Why taking the longer time? Go to the next question. Are you for real? Are you for real? Okay, someone says 1, another says 0. 0. How? 0 is not even among the options. 0 is not among the options. 0 is not among the options. From what I know, prime numbers only have 2 factors. Can only be divided by 1 and itself. I don't think it's 1 because it has only 1 factor. Okay, that is it, this guys. Edit. I learned what a prime number is. It's 2. Okay, James. Which I had lunch, which okay, Nigeria. Okay, Chef W says it's B. Finally, you've dropped an answer. D Park, thank you for that. I appreciate. Thank you. Jugu says primes are a subset of 6n plus 1 or 6n minus 1 and is natural. No. Prime numbers can only lead to a whole number when it's divided by 1 or its own number. Are you a math teacher? Green. Yes, I am. I am a math teacher. Please subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I go live or I upload new videos. Like our live stream if you actually love what we are doing. If you don't, tell us what you think we should do to do better on the comments, okay? So, all right, now let's answer the question before I drop the one that I said you should brace yourself, because this one is very, very easy. Gota, all right, I've heard you. So, like I said, the next is very, very easy, but some people will still fail it. I'm sorry to say that, because about IQ test is that you are expected to take your time. All right, you are expected to take your time while solving it to understand it, because there's a reason why it's called an IQ. Okay, now this is eliminated, this is eliminated. Now the answer is either A or B. Now remember what a prime number is. That is the first thing you should remember. Now a prime number is a number that can be divided by itself and 1. So it actually has 2 factors, itself and 1. Now option A, which is 1, has only 1 factor, which is 1. So it doesn't have up to 2 factors. And that simply means that 1 is not a prime number. And that left us with only one option, which is option B. And that is the answer. Okay. Well, that is the answer. All right. Now, let's solve. I want to see what you guys are saying. The reward is eternally from the participants. Give me more questions and place a reward for that. Are you for real? Are you for real? Okay. Now, this one is simple but logical. The question says, how many times How many times can you subtract? How many times can you subtract 10 from 100? How many times can you subtract 10 from 100? Jogo says the answer is 10 times. Another says 10. Ahmad says 9. James says 10, right? James, you are going to know that in a short time. Says 10. Remember, this is IQ test. So think very well before you answer. What is the end value? I don't know. I don't know. How many times can you subtract 10 from 100? Shop W says 1. Max is 10 times. That is Jugu. How many times can you subtract 10 from 100? Okay. This guy is still thinking. All right. That is what I expected from all of you. Think first. Take your time. Think. Deepak says 1. James says, 1. Okay. Are you not saying that your answer is 1 instead of 10? We can subtract infinite times. Infinite unless a condition. 9 times. Infinite times. Jugu, what's your final answer? Jugu, what's your final answer? Jugu says endless times. Okay, Shop W is saying 100 minus 10 equals 90, 90 plus 100. Okay, so Jubi, your final answer is endless time. Okay. Shop W says, so 1 time. If you subtract 1 time, the 100 becomes 90. I request you to please give the answer. All right, Deepak, how we do that soon, okay? Let's give more people more time to drop their own opinion or their own answer. 1, the minimum is 0. This guy says is you are yet to finalize your answer. It's this guy. So Julie says 100 minus 10, and if that's the way, then n can take any value. Okay. Please keep the time for answer is 40 seconds maximum. Deepak, I understand where you're coming from, but if we do that, if we do it that way, okay, I'll put that into consideration. But you won't understand because you are not the one sitting right here. So if the time between questions are that short, I want you to do the maths. How many questions I will bring up in an hour? Just do the math for me. Please like the stream, people. Let's respect the efforts. James, thank you so much. So Jugu says, thank you, Jugu. All right. So I'm still getting answers. So I want to be sure everyone has dropped his or her own opinion. So Alfred says, makes sense. Subtracting 10 from 100 depends on condition. I mean to get 0, then 9 times. Deepak, thank you so much. So Arik Master Gani says 10 times. Jugu says thanks, teacher. Okay, so this is actually very easy, but difficult as well. So I told you guys to brace yourself because this is really going to test your, let me not say IQ level, because that doesn't mean that anyone that fails it doesn't have high IQ, but it's going to test how you pay attention to details. Okay, if the guy says if it has a minimum, then the answer is finite, but if it does not, you can subtract 10 in an infinite amount. Okay, I've heard you. It's this, guys. Deepak says, let's make this question interesting with deep discussion on it. Yes, that is what I want. Tell us why you think your answer is 10, why you think your answer is 9, why you think your answer is 1. Remember, this is Max Bill says, I will keep subtracting till I get old. Oh, we are talking about 100 though. A number is dropped there. They don't say you should subtract from infinity. You are told how you subtract 10 from 100. Here we get into Guinness. Exactly. You're going to get into Guinness Book of Records. Hi, Matfield, I beg. I don't want to laugh too much. 10 times you can subtract 10 in 100. What collection says that? People says subtraction fever. So Alan says the answer is 100. Sultan is insisting on 1. Sultan is insisting that the answer is 1. Okay, now let me answer this just to respect most of you that have been here since I started this, and I don't want to take much of your time. Okay, so let me kindly drop the answer. Someone say 90, darling. Give me 90. So you can subtract 10, 90 times from 100. Okay. Now, one thing about IQ question is you are expected to pay attention to details. Most times, IQ questions doesn't test. In fact, I don't see it that it tests your IQ. It tests your ability to pay attention to details. That is what I think about IQ tests. It tests your ability to pay attention to details. Now, let's read meaning into this question. It says, how many times can you subtract 10 from 100? A number is given to you. Now, if you solve this mathematically, we are going to have 100 minus 10, 90. We have subtracted once. Then 90 minus 10, 80 the second time. 80 minus 10, 70 the third time. 70 minus 10, 60 the fourth time, right? 60 minus 10 will give us 50 the fifth time. 50 minus 10 will give us 46 times. Then 40 minus 10 will give us 30. 30 minus 10 will give us 20. We're on the 8th time, right? Then 20 minus 10 will give us what? 20 minus 10 will give us 10. That is the 9th one. I don't know if I've lost count already. Then 10 minus 10 will give us 0. But do you know you can still subtract 10 from 0? Yes, because 0 minus 10 will give you minus 10. But we have lost, at this point, if this is what you want to do, then you are wrong. I'm sorry to say that you are wrong. Because we are told, this is number one, this is an IQ question. You are not expected to solve mathematics here. You are supposed to pay attention to things in this question. How many times can you subtract 10 from 100? 100. you're expected to subtract 10 from 100. So 100 minus 10 will give you 90, and that's it. You can only subtract 10 from 100 once. That is it. You can only subtract 10 from 100 once. Now, the next answer is 90. If you say 90 minus 10, you are now subtracting 10 from 90. Do you understand? Do you understand? So you are now subtracting 10 from 90, and that is not the question. The question says how many times can you subtract 10 from 100? So the answer is once. You can only subtract 10 from 100 once. And that is why it's an IQ test. So in a special way, I think all of you that was here, yeah, no, Jugu wasn't sure. Jugu was Jugu got it before. Initially, he got it. Then at a point, Jugu started following the trend, following the crowd. So he wasn't sure. It's only you, the pack that I think you're the only one that's okay. Someone kept repeating that is one. I've forgotten her name or his name. I'm sorry. So sure. Yeah, Sultan. Sultan from the very beginning kept saying one, 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 one. He was so sure. Jugu wasn't sure. Then Deepak, yes, you said one. Jugu said I followed Elon Musk. He told me if you see, that is why you should have your own mind. Because in this world, no one is above mistake. You understand, Jugu? Nobody is above mistake. Yes, that is the truth. It's an IQ test. It's not an arithmetic question. It's an IQ test. It's not an arithmetic question. So how many times can you subtract 10 from 100? Is a simple IQ test. All right. So guys, I thank you all for joining. I don't want to yeah, exactly. I don't want to start calling names because we are much here. We have 41 persons on seat, so I cannot actually call all of you. But in essence, Jugu, you are at mass thinking too much equation. That is it. So shopping W, you also said one. I'm happy you did that. You've been here. You've been joining my live stream for the longest, if I could remember how many times you have joined my live stream. So in all, I thank all of you for joining. I have to go now. I might still come live because I have a class with a student, so I'll still come live depending on the outcome of the class. If it's going to hold, I'll contact him. If it's going to hold, then you're going to see me after about an hour or two. But if he's not on seat, then I might go live again just to meet you guys. All right. I love you guys. See you again in maybe an hour or two. It's this guy says I'm only focusing mathematically. Yeah, it's well. Now you see that IQ test doesn't require you to answer anything mathematically, right? All right. Bye, guys. Love you.